I'm uncomfortable being called baby.
Just don't talk about prostitute or
Cut that out!
testosterone.
Don't send me things to click.
You can talk football, baseball, and eating team parties and bringing up children. You can talk city streets, deadbeats, and the way things probably ain't never gonna be. Talk politics, just leave his mama out of this.
What's the matter with you people?
Talk politics, just leave his mama out of this.
Making songs about my mama? Leave my mama out of this now!
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. There's old Uncle Joe moving kind of slow at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. I will return.
Message deleted.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
In Mobile, we still have congestion. I-10 eastbound to the Wallace Tunnel. Slow and go beginning from Virginia Street. Right now, it's a 10-minute delay. And we have an accident working. I-10 eastbound, milepost 40. This is just when you exit off to the eastern shore, blocking the right shoulder. In Pensacola, we have a broken down vehicle, guiding lane at East 9 Mile Road. Police are on the scene. And right now, you're problem-free on all your major bridges. Buckle up, drive safe. And with Time Saver Traffic, I'm Angie Broldier.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Red Pilled America is celebrating the country's 250th anniversary with stories about the nation's founding. Up first, our 8-part series, What's an American? Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, your chance to win $2,500. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Birthday. That's birthday. Enter it now at newsradio710.com. The Uncle Henry Show. Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
Hey, Uncle Henry, this is Stephen Pelletier. I just wanted to tell you that I'm having to drink from my saucer because my cup of excitement is running over at the anticipation of the upcoming Uncle Henry show. And like I heard on the message the other day, the gentleman said that he was jonesing for some Uncle Henry. Well, I guess you could say I'm doing the same thing. Do not delay in starting the Uncle Henry show. Thank you.
It says the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you very much for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. I really do appreciate it. I really, really do. And once again, here we are together. Me and you, just the two of us, trying to figure out what is going on. What is it? What's going on and what's gotten into people? What has gotten into people other than the devil? That's probably it. It's probably just a devil up in there. Well, here we are. Glad to be back with you here on the Uncle Henry Show. If you'd like to join the show, if there's something you want to tell me about, 251-479-2723 is the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's Uncle Henry at iHeartMedia.com. So many things to go over, so many things to get to on the Uncle Henry Show. Now, I was glad to see the news that the United States Supreme Court said that Mobile and Baldwin County can once again be in the same congressional district with a map drawn by Alabama lawmakers, and that we're together. It made no sense at all, none, for Mobile and Baldwin to be split into two different congressional districts. It was geographic madness on the part of some Judge Matt Drawn. So glad that we've got the congressional district is back the way it ought to be. Mobile and Baldwin joined together in that congressional map. Now, last night, the news broke last night about the U.S. Supreme Court saying that Alabama could use that map that the Alabama lawmakers drew up. Here's a little bit of the quick reaction to all of that. I found a news report. I think this is WSFA. A stepsister station of Fox 10, with a little bit of reaction to the Supreme Court going with that map.
Political correspondent Jessica Umbro is joining us with that reaction and more on the court's decision.
Like many Supreme Court rulings recently, this decision came down to a 6-3 split. A majority of Supreme Court justices saying that Alabama can use its 2023 congressional map. This gives Republicans an opportunity to pick up an additional seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, opponents of the state's plan have said that the 2023 congressional map would dilute the impact of black voters and cause voter confusion. Alabama House Democrats
and cause voter confusion. They never seem to be worried about voter confusion, just generally speaking, and I notice a lot of it. Have you? Have you noticed a lot of confused voters lately?
Democrats have already spoken out, calling this ruling unconscionable. But this is exactly what state leaders like Governor Kay Ivey, Attorney General Steve Marshall, and Secretary of State Wes Allen have been pushing for, saying the state should be in charge of their maps and not the courts.
I believe we will hear now Wes Allen's voice.
We fought long and hard to get this ruling, and we're so very proud to have it. And it means a lot for the state of Alabama. It means a lot for our people.
I like, by the way, the accent. It could be, I would like it to be even more Southern, a little more Foghorn Leghorn if he's going to be an Alabama politician, but you can still hear the Southernness in his voice. It sounds like somebody that enjoys a lot of gravy, I would say, and biscuits.
And we're excited to have this case go our way from the United States Supreme Court.
We've reached out to Democratic Representative Shamari Figures. We're working on getting his reaction to this news. He currently represents U.S. House District 2 for the state of Alabama. He now faces a district that looks very different for his re-election bid. After he won this race in 2024, he became one of the first Democrats in a while in this district that had been solidly Republican before his victory. Reporting live in Montgomery, I'm Jessica Umbro.
Jessica, thank you. And now to reaction from the State Attorney General Steve Marshall, who did release a statement this evening that says tonight's decision is a major victory for Alabama and for the principle of self-governance. The United States Supreme Court confirmed what we always knew, that Alabama's congressional maps are constitutional and lawful under the Voting Rights Act. The court's decision to stay the district court's injunction affirms that Alabama's elected representatives, not federal judges, have the primary authority to draw the maps under which Alabamians choose their own leaders. The legislature set a primary election to decide these races. It will be held August 11th, and it will be in congressional districts 1, 2, 6, and 7. The winners of that primary will then go on to the general election in November.
All right, now, I'm sure that you as a listener of News Talk Radio probably already know the kind of stuff I will say about this, and that is that, you know, in other parts of the country, Republicans and Democrats do this to each other all the time. I mean, this is now here in the Deep South, everybody wants to make it about race, because here in the Deep South, people try to make everything about race, it seems like. But in places like in the Northeast, for example, New Jersey, you got about statewide, voters will vote about 35 to 40% Republican up in New Jersey, statewide, but Democrats hold 9 of 3 congressional seats up there because of gerrymandering. Democrats doing to Republicans in New Jersey what Republicans is doing to Democrats right now here in Alabama. This is not unprecedented. People acting like this. I can't believe this would happen. It's unconscionable. If it's unconscionable, are they unconscionable in New Jersey? New York State is very similar to New Jersey. You get maybe 30 to 40% votes Republican statewide, but they got that all gerrymandering going up there in New York in favor of the Democrats. Democrats get something like 21 or 22 out of 26 seats in Congress because they're doing what the Republicans are doing here to the Democrats. So it's done. This has been done a bunch more up in the Northeast than it ever happens down here. But down here, they'll say it's about race because down here in the South, a lot of people think that every aspect of life is about race. All right, back with more Uncle Henry Show after the break here on News Radio 710.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Still seeing heavy stop and go delays I-10 eastbound through Mobile if you're headed to the Wallace Tunnel. Slow and go beginning before Virginia Street. Right now, it's a 14-minute delay and a 28-minute drive between the I-65 and the Eastern Shore. And we have an accident working I-10 eastbound, milepost 40. This is just when you exit off the Eastern Shore, blocking the right shoulder. We also have a stalled vehicle in Pensacola, Guidey Lane at East 9 Mile Road. And with Time Saver Traffic, I'm Angie Brolier.
This report is sponsored by Brad vs. Everyone podcast.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media.
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking. Thank you for looking at this. I'm very proud of the small number of people looking. I'd rather have quality like I'm getting from people like JD, 69-year-old Chris, someone claiming to be Pat Nelly. I'd rather have that than the quantity of the successful shows. And hello to Pat Nelly, or someone claiming to be Pat Nelly, JD, 69-year-old Chris, Larry Morting, Excalibur One Force. Thank you all for looking in. JD, I will tell you about the Roll of Jelly concert last night up on the radio. Back when I'm on the radio, I'll tell you about it here in just if you can just hang on. I'll get to it on the radio because it was different than some of the other concerts that I've been to. It was different. People feel very passionate about that guy. Not passionate in a romantic passion because he is the Roll of Jelly. It's not a romantic type of passion. It's more of a I feel like I know you kind of thing. People feel strongly connected to him. So anyway, we'll get into that. But let's see. Going to be back on the radio here in about 3 minutes. What can I try and tell you about before we go back on the radio? I don't know. I don't know what. I'm sure there's some interesting. I did see a story today. I don't have it in front of me. It was from the Daily Mail in Great Britain. And I'm bringing it up only because they talked about some man makes predictions out of China. And he was referred to by the Daily Mail as the Chinese Nostradamus. Now, what is predict? He didn't have a good prediction, though. It was something. It was very vague. It was like something. He said that the Chinese Nostradamus was saying something like all of this UAP disclosure is a BS distraction to keep us distracted from how catastrophic things are going to be going on in America. That It's supposed to keep us occupied. I don't know. I guess while the people are looting the government, or I don't know what it is. But the Chinese Nostradamus. I would kind of like to be able to make some predictions of my own and get known as like the Mobile County Nostradamus. It just would be a fun title to have. The Nostradamus of a certain geographic location would just be kind of good. All right, back on the radio in about a minute. Oh, there is a college softball player that is in the news. Hannah Wells, University of Texas. Her superstition is she believes that if she eats a ladybug, it's good luck. So she will eat ladybugs before the softball games, if she sees one. That is a weird superstition, especially for a female. It sounds more like a superstition from, say, a a 6-year-old boy.
WNTN.
The Uncle Henry Show. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Norman, you are live on the radio.
You know, I was listening to you, and you know what you was talking about with the gerrymandering.
Yes.
The thing is, that has been going on for decades.
Yes.
I dare say almost centuries with the Democrats. And, you know, they do it and do it and do it. And then if something changes, you know, then it's you cheating. But they can do it and it's fine.
Right, and I'll let you cough and get and try not to have an attack of some kind. And just say, yeah, when Democrats do the gerrymandering up in the Northeast, they're thought of as clever. That's clever. They are scheming and they're clever and they're just using the system the way the rules are. And it's too bad for the Republicans. They've used the rules and they're doing the smart thing. And how could you not do this? How could you not do this? But if it's done in the deep south, if it's done down here, oh no.
Oh, you cheating? Oh yeah, well that's against the rules.
It's unconscionable.
But that's the way they do about everything, you know. But they'll expect that. I was going to call and talk, but my throat is not going to allow me to do that. Y'all have a good evening and roll tide.
Roll tide, roll. Thank you, Norman, for your brief phone call. But, you know, I've had the same thing. I think the last time I was on the air Monday, I had a coughing attack toward the end of the program. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's allergies or something about the air. Maybe the gerrymandering gets kicked something up in the air. We're having some type of gerrymander throat, causing some kind of coughing. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Let me go. There's other things to talk about, but I want to get to a voicemail. Let me go to the Uncle Henry Show voicemail inbox.
Hey, Uncle Henry, Snake Trapper. Hey, man, this morning on my commute to work on Wolf Ridge Road, I stopped 2 different times to remove a turtle.
Now, think of this. All right. Look, I paused the voicemail because the Snake Trapper, this is a man. Think of the compassion he has for the turtles. Well, wait a minute. I know he loves to eat turtles. Maybe it's not compassion. Maybe it's hunger. I don't. Let me unpause this voicemail to find out. Was he being compassionate toward the turtles? Or was he being very hungry and hoping to find something delicious on the roads?
Out 2 different times to remove a turtle. Well, Henry, I just pulled up to where the turtle was at, turned my emergency flashers on, jumped out, grabbed him, and set him offside the road. Now, the second time, a car had done got behind me, and the old guy in it blowed his horn at me and then flipped me off, Uncle Henry.
All right. I'm pausing there just to say, look, and he could have been on his way to work. You know, you're there. Now, he didn't realize you were being either compassionate or, well, the first turtle you just set on the side of the road. So maybe this is just pure compassion for the lives of the turtles. Snake Trapper compassionate toward the turtles. But this man didn't understand the depth of your compassion. Maybe he was trying to get to work on time and he thought you were a lunatic, some type of turtle-oriented lunatic or something. Maybe the man was trying to pass a gallstone or something. Needed to get to the emergency room. We don't know. Let's also show some compassion toward the man that was behind you, that was delayed due to your mission of mercy. But he flipped you off. That's no excuse for the flipping off. There's no reason for us to communicate with the middle finger and the meaning that our society has given to the middle finger. You know, it's kind of sad that our middle fingers have been stigmatized. You can't really use your middle finger independently at all because of what society has said that it means. Isn't that sad for the middle finger?
All I did was yell to him at the top of my lungs, I love you too. Hey, Uncle Henry, somebody wants to flip me off for removing a turtle off the roadway, I'll take it as a badge of honor. But Uncle Henry, tell people to be careful out there because,
because people are stopping in the road to help turtles.
Tell people to be careful out there because, we are at the peak of nesting season. Man, like I said, if you can't stop and remove them from the road, just try to straddle them in your vehicle, and they'll be just fine. But definitely try to avoid them. Yeah, man.
Turtle straddling. This is one of the things I love about doing the Uncle Henry Show is that I always learn more. I always get back more than I put out there. Because if you've listened for any length of time, I don't put out a lot of knowledge, but I certainly gain from the listeners. I learn from the listeners. And I've learned about the turtle straddling technique.
The vehicle, and they'll be just fine, but definitely try to avoid them. Yeah, man. Those guys didn't like it, Uncle Henry, but I take it that when they flip me off, they telling me they are my #1 fan, so I wear it as a badge of honor. You have a good day, my buddy.
Snake Trapper, thank you. Be careful. Please, you're telling us to be careful. You be careful. You be careful stopping on the road when you're on your way to work and getting out and trying to be compassionate toward the turtles. Because you're enraging these people. I would say that you have been blessed that he only flipped you off and did do something worse, because we all have seen how people are losing their minds all over the country. We have a continuing mental health crisis in the United States of America, where people have gone out of their minds and they're spiraling out of control, and they're trying to take why do you think people are driving long distances just to get their CBD THC sodas and things like this? They are trying desperately to just get their mind, just send their mind into another dimension or something. So be careful, Snake Trapper. It's a blessing that the man didn't try to whip out a gun or throw a brick at you. I know that sounds extreme, but hey, people are absolutely lunatics and act maniacally in our modern society. All right, let's see. We're fixing to take a break. Going to have some news headlines coming up, and I know that because you're listening to this station, you're wishing you'd find out something going on other than turtle straddling. And we got some stuff coming up for you. Some news headlines on the way. In fact, traffic, news headlines, words from our sponsors, and then back with more Uncle Henry Show after the break here on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Still seeing heavy stop-and-go delays I-10 eastbound through Mobile if you're headed to the Wallace Tunnel. Slow and go beginning before Virginia Street. Right now, it's a 14-minute delay and a 28-minute drive between the I-65 and the Eastern Shore. And we have an accident working I-10 eastbound, milepost 40. This is just when you exit off the Eastern Shore, blocking the right shoulder. We also have a stalled vehicle in Pensacola, Guidey Lane at East 9 Mile Road. And with Time Saver Traffic, I'm Angie Brolier.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Rev up Father's Day gift giving at summitracing.com. You'll find unique gifts, parts, tools, accessories, and more. Or give the perfect card, a Summit Racing gift card. Shop summitracing.com, plus enroll in the rewards program to get more power in every purchase.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
The U.S. Supreme Court rules in favor of the 2023 Alabama congressional map in a 6-3 decision. It overturns a lower court ruling that said previous district lines were discriminatory and voids court-drawn district maps in 2024. Governor Kay Ivey reacting, saying, SCOTUS confirmed what I've said all along. Today's decision is a win for the people of Alabama and our elections. Alabama's doing our part to keep America strong, and I am proud our state continues to fight the fight. I'll see y'all at the polls August 11th. A new anti-blight ordinance passed by the Mobile City Council goes into effect this week. Requires owners of vacant commercial properties in the downtown area to register with the city. They'll have to secure their buildings, install fire suppression equipment, and put the properties to productive use or sell them in order to avoid yearly fees. And the boats are out this week. Alabama shrimp season is open. I'm Angie Norvell.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. President Trump considering seizing Iran's uranium stockpile. He says negotiations with Iran do continue on a possible permanent peace deal. The president says only the United States and China really have the capability to retrieve that enriched uranium.
That stuff is buried underneath a mountain that virtually collapses. Very, very hard to get it. But nevertheless, I want to get it.
Well, the United States and Iran have launched new strikes even as the negotiations continue. Speaking during a hearing before the House Foreign Relations Committee, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he blames Iran's proxy Hezbollah for some of this ongoing fighting.
We are hopeful that we can create a paradigm which Lebanon's government and Israel can work together to disarm Hezbollah and allow the people of Lebanon to reclaim its country. But it's complex.
Kuwait actually had to temporarily shut down its main airport after Iranian drones reportedly killed a person and wounded others there. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, Uncle Henry here.
Hey, yeah, that's me. Let me check and see if anybody's still watching on the YouTube. Going to be back on the radio here in about 2 minutes. Let's see. Thank you for looking. I appreciate you being there. $69-year-old Chris asking, when is my next gig? Saturday night. Saturday night. Gary Allen and Tracy Lawrence are in concert, co-headliners at the Wharf in Orange Beach with Diamond Rio and Easton Corbin. An early concert, too. Most of the concerts start at 7 or 7:30. It's a 5:30 start. That is an early start at the Wharf in Orange Beach, Saturday. I'm hoping that I know there's supposed to be rain. I'm hoping that'll be done by the afternoon. That'll be my next gig? Thank you for asking. There are so many of them coming up in the next few weeks. So many of them. July, going to be down there a lot. Art, no. I'm just there meeting and greeting, promoting 95 KSJ, trying to get as many people to listen to us as is humanly possible. Just promoting the radio station, trying to create some alleged job security. And also just enjoy meeting people that listen.
$, at Pool and Spa Superstore. We're just going to dole out some hard, uncomfortable truths around here.
It's Jesse Kelly.
Okami Destroyer Supreme.
Weeknights at 7 on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it very, very much. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Have a caller who's been waiting. Hello, caller.
Hey, good evening, Uncle Henry.
Cliff, so good to hear from you. What's on your mind today?
Oh, Uncle Henry, it was good to hear from Norman. Hadn't heard from him in a while.
Yes, indeed.
It's kind of amazing with all the, say, unenlightened people, all the money that's being spent, that the Democrats would make a fuss about this. I mean, they're doing more evil things and more worse things. The things coming from the left seems like they want to now put MAGA people in internment camps or do worse to them. And they're not afraid to see it.
It is.
And the amount of money.
Yeah.
Sir?
I was just saying, yes, I'm seeing it too, yes.
The amount of money that they're spending and the lying that they're doing, they know they have a whole host of unenlightened people from all districts and all areas that will vote for them, especially the Muslims. So it makes no difference. They have the majority when they come to things like fooling the people, like there's going to be, we're talking about reparations again. Every time that they say something free, you pull it, to really slow people out the closet and stuff. This redistricting, this you can't be worrying the Democrats as much as ICE keeping the new black and poor illegal alien Democrat voters from the booth. That's got to be major, but they want to just make a whole lot of noise about everything just to make the Republicans look bad when this is just normal, just regular business that's going on. That's all that is regular business. You have a blessed day, Uncle Henry.
Hey, Cliff, thank you. Great to hear from you again, Cliff. And, yeah, I mean, the country remains as polarized as it has been. It just seems to get worse and worse in terms of the polarization of the country and people not wanting to get along or listen to each other or just all of the things you mentioned. And I'm just one of the things I've been pondering lately is what direction will this country head into after the next presidential election? Because you're not going to have Trump up there anymore. And I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue which direction the country are going after that. But we're in a time where there doesn't seem to be a lot of people that want to compromise on much of nothing. 479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Let me get to another voicemail message. The voicemail number is 251-216-1976. 251-216-1976 to leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show. And this voicemail came in this morning.
Roll Tide, Unc. Well, Uncle, here at 10:38 in the morning on Wednesday. Nice and cool and comfortable out here on the front porch. Good little breeze, not a high temperature, low humidity. Loving it, man. Yeah, I was wondering how things went at the Jelly Roll show for you last night. I don't know if y'all got any rain down that way. We had some up here in Loxley. Good bit of it, I suspect. But just wondering how the performance went, and was it a big turn? Well, you said it was a sellout, so. But if it rained, I don't know if it was still a big turnout. So I'm sure you'll fill us in on this afternoon's program. So in the meantime, you have a good one.
Oh, thank you, 69-year-old Chris of West Loxley, and you take it easy. Now, I'll be glad to tell you about it. I have not seen a concert like that before. I'll explain in a moment. It was it'll be unforgettable for everyone that was there. Unforgettable. I will say that before the concert, that was also unusual for us in radio. Now, I've had an opportunity, and the way country music radio works is if you're a current artist and you've got songs that are played on the radio and you want your songs played on the radio, what the country artists do is when they do a concert, they'll set up a radio room backstage and they'll invite people from the country music radio stations in the community to come back and meet the artists. So in country music, you get to meet, if you're a DJ, you get to meet a lot of the people you play on the air. And they're nice to you because they want you to play their records. And so I've met Jelly Roll twice. I met him in Biloxi at the Crawfish Music Festival about 3 years ago, right before he became at the top of the charts. And then I saw him again after he had tremendous success at the Wharf last year, I guess, or the year before. Now, it was different this time because Jelly Roll has gotten so famous, he and his wife have assembled, well, I shouldn't say assembled, they have unfortunately attracted numerous stalkers that they feel are menacing. And so they have stopped doing meet and greets. And they told us that they were going to set up a radio room, but they weren't sure if Jelly Roll would talk to us or not. And so they took us backstage, me and Shelby Mitchell and some other people from the radio station. And there were some other radio stations, Pensacola radio stations. We all went backstage. And Jelly Roll had set up a buffet in a bar for us at 5:30. So, and this sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Sounds wonderful. The superstar artist has got the DJs back there with a buffet and a bar. We're back there at 5:30. And then 2 hours later, I thought to myself, well, I'm going to have to leave even though Jelly Roll has not shown up. Yeah, Jelly Roll didn't show up. So I left out of the radio room, and he never showed up. He never talked to the radio people. And this is all because of these stalkers. They're just not meeting as many people. So he's really seen a different side of fame now. He's at a point now where people are going after him. So anyway, Jelly Roll went on stage about 9 o'clock. And about 15 minutes into his concert, it starts raining. Now, this is a sellout crowd, 10,000 people. Nobody leaves. And it goes from drizzle to a torrential downpour. You're soaked. If you're out there, nobody left. 10,000 people getting soaked, right down to the underpants, if they're smart enough and have enough character to wear their underpants. They're soaked. Jelly Roll comes off the stage in the torrential downpour and wades out into the crowd, and he's singing in the crowd with the people in a torrential downpour. Look for the video online. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen an artist want to mix it up like that. He just went out there. I can't imagine how uncomfortable it had to have been, the torrential, but it was just the rain. It was just as hard a rain as you can imagine. Imagine that. And there he is. The videos, I've seen so many different videos because everybody had their phone out, of course. Even in a torrential downpour, they thought, well, I might ruin my phone, but I got to get video of this. And they did. So nobody will forget that. Jelly Roll coming off the stage, sellout crowd. Just about nobody leaves in the torrential downpour, and he's out there just singing these big hits. Getting as wet as a drowned rat. So a phenomenal concert, a phenomenal performance. Some people will be talking about for years.
In Mobile, watch for an accident spot South Broad Street at Savannah Street. Heavy stop-and-go delays remain I-10 eastbound to the Wallace Tunnel. Slow and go beginning just past South Broad Street. Right now, it's a 14-minute slowdown. And we have an accident working I-10 eastbound, milepost 40. This is just as you exit off the Eastern Shore, blocking the right shoulder. Problem-free on all your major bridges into and out of Pensacola. And with Time Saver Traffic, I'm Angie Brollier.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like
YouTube viewers, thank you for being there. Hope you're enjoying each other's company. Yes, 69-year-old Chrissy stayed till the end. I think he stopped. He didn't. I don't know if he cut it short because lightning was approaching, and they down at the wharf, they've got their own. I like a corporate meteorologist. And if lightning is within a certain distance, they automatically evacuate because it could be really bad if there was some lightning. So I think he played until about 10 or 15 after 10, and so he may have cut it short. But I have never seen anybody willing to do that, to get out like he did. I mean, that was just something. It was raining sideways. It was something else. It made me think. I started thinking to myself, are people staying because they love Jelly Roll or because that costs so much? Because the ticket prices. Are they thinking, I don't care if I get wet. I've spent this much money. I don't know. Maybe both. Or let me see. What can I tell you about? Let me see if there's anything I can tell you about while waiting to go back on to the radio. Now, I think I told you about this last year, that there have been all these weird bear attacks in Japan where the government was issuing warnings about bears. I have a relative that was deployed in the military, that was deployed to a U.S. base in Japan. And he was given like an advisory on bears when he. Yes, you know, I never think of bears when I think of the Japanese. He was given an advisory by the military on the bears. And they have all kind of they've had all kind of bear attacks. And I think I told you last year the entrepreneurs in Japan were selling bear-proof pods. Like if you're in danger of a bear, you can go jump in the bear-proof pod. I mean, people are really afraid of the bears. Well, in Fukushima, Japan, 4 people were attacked and injured by a bear yesterday. This was a series of incidents that began at a steel manufacturing facility and spread into a nearby neighborhood. 6:30 in the morning, the fire department got a call that a bear had attacked 2 male workers at the steel works. Then the bear fled into a surrounding residential area and it attacked a woman in her 80s and a different man in his 60s in a separate office building. And the authorities considering declaring an emergency because they have to declare an emergency to shoot the bear. They have special rules, I guess, in Japan about shooting firearms. They canceled school. In Fukushima, Japan, they had to cancel all the classes in their schools because a bear was on the just attacking.
Conversations with new and legendary musicians. For one of the best music interview podcasts, listen to Taking a Walk on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710, WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710, WNTM. We have news headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Now, once upon a time, what? I got a caller. Hello, caller.
Uncle Henry.
LD, the retired trucker.
Yep, I guess you could call it that. I'm back at work, Uncle Henry. I can't tell you where I'm working. I'm back at work, but it ain't in a truck, that's for sure. Look, I'm going to a poker tournament tonight. I can't say where it is, can I?
Well, I mean, that's up to you. Well, they'll get in trouble if they have a poker tournament?
No.
Well, then
no,
you can tell if you want to tell, you can tell.
Okay, it's at a Hooters on Airport Boulevard. I'll be there. I'm going to try to win it all, which I won't. But I just want to let you know that they have all-you-can-eat wings there for women over 600 pounds. So I thought you might want to get your mom in.
All right, look, at this point, now the correct reaction would be for me to leave the building, get in my vehicle, and drive out to this establishment and confront LD. That would I think that's in earlier times in our nation's history, that's what would have happened. There might have even been a duel of some kind years back. That would have been the way to handle things. But no, right now I'm a little more philosophical about it. I'm thinking we really need to pray for LD. I think he's close. I know that LD has done a lot of charitable things that he probably would not like me to mention. But LD has helped people. I know that's a shock to think that he's out there doing charitable, but he has done some charitable things. But he's obviously got some type of demon in him. You can hear it. He wants to excel at gambling while attacking another man's mother. That's demonic. That's demonic. There's a dwelling of a spirit in there. There's an unclean spirit in there. So I would respectfully request that you, the listener, when you are doing your prayers, please remember to pray. for LD, that the unclean spirit go out of him? Please do that. And you know, these unclean spirits, these demons, they fear Jesus. They do. Jesus they'll flee Jesus. So just please pray that LD be surrounded by the Holy Spirit and his unclean spirits and demons leave him, and that he put down his cards, tip his waiter well, and then leave and go home and spend time with his family instead of taking the family money and wasting it there. All right, let's all pray for LD. All right, where was I? Oh, I got an email from a longtime listener, somebody that used to call the Uncle Henry Show many, many years ago, back when the Uncle Henry Show was on in the morning. It was the Coke Man. The Coke Man used to deliver, he got his nickname because he delivered Coca-Cola products. He was not a drug dealer of any kind. He delivered Coca-Cola products, allegedly. And the Coke Man had a son who was a musician. He used to call the Uncle Henry Show and leave voicemails of his son playing Reveille. I think this was...
Hey, Unc, this is the Coke Man. Here's my son playing Reveille.
So you get the message. You get the message. Well, got an email from the Coke Man about the son. Let's see. The email reads as follows. War Eagle Unc, it's been a long time. Still listening to the pod when I can. My son is getting married this Saturday. Thought that the longtime listeners would be interested in his ascension into manhood. Take it easy, the former Coke Man. Well, former Coke Man, congratulations on your son. I know his son has become a much better musician, and now his son has ascended into manhood and is getting married this Saturday. So, former Coke Man, congratulations to you and your family, and I hope it is a wonderful wedding, and I hope a lifelong bond there with the wife. All right, there's more Uncle Henry Show coming up. I'm going to be interviewing the author of a book. The book is called Super Teams. Yeah, it's about being on a super team. That's coming up next.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby, Senate Republican.
YouTube viewers, thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow at the regular time. Have a pleasant evening and pleasant tomorrow.